Hi, welcome back to Miss Kulala's Mystical Musings. um, Today I wanted to kind of touch on the subject of abundance, and I've been thinking about it, um, and I wanted to do it as soon as I can because otherwise I'll forget and I won't say anything. So that's why you're getting the no makeup and after a day of spending with children. anyway, so no makeup today. Anyway, so I was thinking that, with all the stuff that's been going on in the community, it got me to thinking about the subject of abundance. It's like, what is abundance? And so first I looked it up, and abundance is a state of not worrying about, it's having everything that your heart desires. It's being able to get it. It's being fulfilled. So I got to thinking about that, and I thought, well, then honestly, abundance is way more than your material things. Doesn't mean that that's not included, but you can't look at somebody and see if that they have all these wonderful things and think, oh, they must be spiritually sound. I don't think so, only because I believe that we have a shadow government and they're very wealthy, and I don't think they're spiritually sound. But I also don't think that, somebody that's homeless could be spiritual sound. I don't think we can tell, is what I'm getting at, with how they look, the things that they have in their home, their tarot collection. That to me does not speak of spirituality whatsoever. I mean, and I'm going to get real with you. If somebody can tell me all day long that I'm in a state of gratitude and that's why I have all these things, I'm going to call your bullshit on it. Why? Because I know that I live in a state of abundance and gratitude. But to me, abundance is not the material things, because I know how grateful I am for the things that I have. And I also know that the decisions I've made that have affected my income were for other people. Not saying that I don't deserve things, because I know that I do. And I have a wonderful other half that makes great money that if I wanted it, I could have those things. But he works very, very hard. So for me to come to him for something that is more than a need, I question why do I want that? You know what I mean? There's nothing frivolous about any purchases that I make, but that has nothing to do with my spirituality as far as what you see. So it's a trigger in the aspect. I think that I think some of us kind of got it wrong, and that's just my opinion, and I'm just musing. But I have seen, in my years, I have seen people that live in the most modest of homes and have very little things, but because they have very little, they have less to clean. Everything's in its place, and they're like, ah. And I think, oh, okay, well, that's another way to look at it too. They don't have all this clutter, and I'm pretty sure that, like my mom, who doesn't have a lot of stuff, she can't handle having a lot of stuff, okay? But she does like nice things. So, I don't know. I think that when we judge people because of what they have in their home, that we're comparing ourselves. And I think, for one, if you're thinking, if you don't have those things, that maybe you're doing something wrong and you're not in a state of gratitude, well, then that's there's something wrong with that, in my opinion. Because why would you compare yourself to somebody that has all those material things? Because you should be grateful for what you do have. Because then when you're in that state of gratitude, you know, I mean, and you're doing what you need to do, all those things will fall in line. And nobody has the right to judge you for not having those things. Because I can guarantee that, you know, I live in an old farmhouse, but it's paid for. So there is a freedom there. There's no debt. I do drive a new car, but I used to be in the mindset, you know, well, everything's got to be paid for. But then my other half would be like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired of it. I don't want to work on it, you know. So he's like, you need to get a new car. Okay, so I got a new car, and you know, thanks to great insurance, you know, if you happen to get in an accident or whatever, well then, you know, you'll have a rental car while your car's in the fix-it shop. So I mean, it's not like you're without a vehicle. There's all these benefits to having a new car that save the person that would normally have to take care of you when you're without a vehicle because, say, it's old and it breaks down. It's paid for, though. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, there's more thought that goes into a person that is considers things, you know, not just about how they look to other people, but what is best for your family. And again, no judgment whatsoever, because, you know, I would love to have all those things, but the timing is not now. But I am very grateful for the things that I do have, and there is such a freedom in having money in the bank instead of in the material things in my house in case one of the kids needs something, or one of the grandbabies needs something, or just something happens, you know. And no debt, you know. It's like not having debt, there's freedom in that. I don't have the freedom to go do what I want, but the funds have always been there. I took a cut in pay to take care of grandbabies, but I did that for the freedom of not having to worry about somebody else taking care of my grandbabies. That gave my daughter peace of mind. It gave me peace of mind. And so I didn't have that stress. So was it worth taking the cut in pay? Hallelujah. Do I still stress about it? Yeah. Yeah, because inevitably I want to make all that great money too. But I'm not going to let somebody make me feel bad and think that I'm not in abundance, because they have no idea. No idea. There's so much freedom in not having to worry about, you know, if something happens to your family and you can't pay something, or, you know, something happens to another family member and you can't take care of yourself. You know, independence and no debt, you know, those are great. That's a form of abundance, because abundance to me is having a state of mind where your heart's desire is fulfilled. And I don't think you can tell that by looking at what somebody has or what they don't have, by using words like, you know, well, I am in a state of gratitude, and that's why I am abundant. Absolutely. I think that we can all be that way, regardless of whether we have material things or not. And I just think that, unfortunately, when we compare ourselves to other people, we lose sight of that, you know. And that was just my musings, because I think a lot of people might do that, you know. And we really have no idea what goes on beyond this right here. You know, when you see me on here, you have no idea if I have a struggle outside of here, or if somebody who has a lot of material things that you're seeing, or their house is picturesque, you know. You have no idea what their struggles are, or why they get comfort from that. And I can tell you a little story that will explain something about myself and my family. My mom lost her job when I was in early high school. And to save me from having to go through that and make it a little bit easier on herself to take care of one child, she kept my sister with her and sent me to live with my grandfather. My grandfather, you know, he and my grandma, I mean, they nothing fancy about my grandpa, but nobody ever wanted for anything. There was always plenty of food. I mean, just, you know, no one was starving. I mean, it was just, I don't know. I think I was 14. But anyway, but my sister and my mom went through it, and they didn't eat for a long time. You know, they were starving for a while. You know, and there was some heartache attached to that because, you know, my sister was she's a year and a half younger than I am, so I'm not going to speak for her, but, you know, I can't imagine a 12-and-a-half-year-old not having food for a while, you know, and not knowing if she was going to have food for how long it was going to be, you know. I mean, kids get hungry, you know, and just the humility and all of the things that you go through, you know. And but she had mom, you know, she had mom through that time. And I was at my grandpa's, and I didn't have to worry about any of that. But I didn't have my mom during that time. So when we think about why people do things and why we are the way we are, there's always a backstory that we don't know, and we may never know. So I feel like when you judge somebody for no matter what it is, whatever you think it is, if they spend too much money on this, or they don't have anything, you know, like I get ashamed sometimes. I'm going to be straight up honest with you. I get ashamed sometimes people coming over, not because I live in an old farmhouse, because I could give two shits about that. I just want it to be clean. So it's like, you know, give me a call before you come over. Please give me a call. Because I would like my house to be clean. I have a little bit of an issue with it not being clean, and I have so many people that live here, so that bothers me. But do I care if I got an old couch, or you know, the paint's not the greatest, or the carpet? The kids have spilled a lot of stuff on the carpet. You know, all I care about if it's clean. You know, that's really it. I have cats. I want the kitty litter taken care of. Make sure that's all nice, you know. And on a daily basis, I have clutter in the living room. I have stuff that's spilled on the floor, and other people's dishes. So it's like, those are the only things I don't want people looking at. I don't give a shit, honestly, about if I have the newest TV, or I just don't. I never have. But do I have abundance? Oh, I have a lot of abundance. And I am so grateful for everything that I have, you know. I think I told you I drive a new car, and Bob don't have to work on it. You know. don't have debt. I have credit card payments, you know, because I feel that, you know, having decent credit is a it is a good thing, you know, because again, you just never know. Um, and someday, you know what, once the kids are in school and I have more free time on my hands, then I will be able to make that kind of money again to where I can upgrade in the house. But that's not my priority. Um, my heart's desire has everything to do with the people around me. Um, and not having to worry about things because I'm a worrywart. So if I take stress off me, so that to me is truly abundance. And I just think it's unfortunate that even if somebody that does have all that stuff looks down on someone else and thinks, well, they must not be living in gratitude, or they must not be abundant. So, you know, it's still a form of judgment. And the person that looks at the person that does have all the stuff and think, I must not be abundant because I don't have all that stuff. No, it's so much more than that. And the material things, you cannot tell if somebody is spiritually in alignment if they have all these things, because, and that's just my opinion, I do think it's one hell of a side effect. You know, it's like, I know that eventually those things will come to me again too. But it won't be because I have like a FOMO, a fear of missing out, or I just have to have them. It's because practically once the kids are out of the house, I want a nicer couch. I want better carpet. But realistically, those grandbabies are going to be around. And when I think about what they bring, that's abundance. That's abundance when they look at me and, Mima, and they know that I will protect them. And they just want to be around me. That I am grateful for. You know. Anyway, so I love you guys, and I hope maybe someone will do a VR and what they think is abundance. So